Spatchcock Funk in the house, our house, and your house too. You know where the party's at? Wherever you're at. We're gonna teach you how to throw the best parties, the best dinners, the best get-togethers. All you need are the people that you love, and we'll take care of the rest. Spatchcock Funk, dope food, strong drinks, great stories. Like Curtis Jackson said, we in the club, y'all. As social animals, we all need to feel a sense of belonging, some kind of kinship, baby. For validation, friendship, we all deserve to be seen and heard. Now, being around a set, a crew, your friend group, man, that's what keeps us engaged, happy, alive. Sometimes you form these groups over a shared interest, and in this case, the magic American elixir known as bourbon, dog. So we roll deep with our friends over some good old brown liquor. Now, if you don't drink, there are other reasons to circle up the wagons. Just avoid that dysentery on the trail. So remember, the people though, they're the most important ingredient. Now, we met these cats across different walks of life. Some former work friends, former teammates, even some former co-defendants, but we ain't here to talk about that. So we're proud to call ourselves a member of a great bourbon club. Now, we're gonna wrangle up the crew, wrangle up some killer bourbon for a night of dope food, strong drinks, stories, stogies, and all sorts of trouble. This is 100 Proof People. At the Funk, we got a thing for smoke. Cigars, the sticky icky, a campfire, the smoky eye makeup girl, and we are gonna infuse that into a killer bourbon cocktail for some killer people for this killer party. So let's just jump right into this thing. We've got a shaker with ice. We are gonna put into that 2 ounces of good bourbon, you know, Kentucky whiskey, baby. 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. And the magic ingredient, bitters. 2 to 3 dashes, but don't go too hard on it because it'll make the drink too bitter. And we got a thing about bitters around here, so we like to take care of them. Once that's in there, we're gonna take 2 of those dark, luxurious maraschino cherries in it. Then, now we've got a big ice cube because Manhattans should be done over big ice cubes. This, basically with the more surface area, means it melts slower, so you keep the drink really strong. So we're gonna strain it over there. Yeah. We got our stack of cherry wood chips, our drink, and then we're gonna garnish it with 2 more of those beautiful cherries. And now it's time to fire it up. Get our glass dome over the corner and really fire up this smoke. Smoked bourbon Manhattan. Smoke them if you got them. So for Bourbon Club, we want to come correct. So we're hitting up a local joint owned by Paulie, Glazing Infused. To get some round donuts we're going to chop up and turn them into Crostinis. Yo, Paulie, what up, dog?
What's up, Matt? How are you, man?
So we're making Crostinis out of donuts to go with bourbon, dude.
Love it.
Old-fashioned style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by the way, man, what do you do with all the donut holes?
Oh, that's so funny. There's no holes. Come on, we're in production. Let me show you.
Smells so
Here's the
good.
kitchen. Yeah, right? So we mix 10 pounds per batch, go right in the hopper, right into a soy flex, which is like a really high-end oil.
Yep.
It's veggie soy. Old-fashioned hand cut.
Yeah, just dropping them right in, man. Drop it like it's hot. Yes.
Get about 35, 40 per cut. 1 minute on each side.
Fresh all day long. Oh my God. And do you walk, when you get home, do you smell like this? And you're like, yo, you smell good.
These guys bring donuts home every day.
Every day I bring donuts home.
Yeah, every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I pass them out to people too.
Yeah.
It's our drug of choice.
Yeah, mine too.
Donuts.
Donuts. So when you go through, if you have any like broken ones in here, do they like go to waste or?
So believe it or not, so they don't go to waste. We'll end up having a little doggy bowl for like dogs come in. We dip them in peanut butter, natural peanut butter, so we give them away to dogs.
Oh, now I want to be a dog.
Exactly, right?
That is awesome.
He helps the homeless more than anything.
But we feed the Samaritan Center every day.
Oh, wow.
So if there's anything left in production, we bring them over to Samaritan Center daily.
That is incredible.
Every day.
Literally every day.
I did not know that. That is so awesome. I mean,
it's the only way for us, like, we'll never hold them over.
Yeah.
So we start fresh every morning.
Yep.
So if there's a couple dozen left, you know, there could be none if we sell out, but if there's as much as 8 dozen, slow day, raining, we'll bring them all to the Samaritan Center every day.
Wow, that is so awesome. What a great thing for the community. All right, man, this is awesome. Let's grab these donuts.
You got it, man. Let's do it.
One of our favorite things to pair with bourbon is red meat. Or maybe one of our favorite things to pair with red meat is bourbon. But either way, we are making the Bullhorn Crostini. It's called the Bullhorn Crostini because, like a bullhorn, it is loud and proud. This is a delicious, tasty little morsel that has a combination of all these flavors. But the star of it actually is, besides using Kobe beef that we're using today, the real star that we got from our boy Paulie are donuts. Now that we're done horsing around, we're gonna take some horseradish and make a killer horsey sauce. So we take half a cup of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of horseradish, try to get it without the liquid in there, 2 teaspoons of mayonnaise, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, and 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Stir it up, and we're gonna let this sit while we're making the rest of our dish so the flavors really meld well together in the fridge. We're gonna make a basting oil to make our donut crostinis. Now, a basting oil you can use on grilled salads, you can use for anything. It's good for dipping in bread too. But what we're using here is extra virgin olive oil, AKA EVOO, but we also call them extra virgin here, or ex-virgin, like I'm an ex-virgin. But this is not an ex-virgin. Virgin olive oil versus regular olive oil, right? Regular olive oil is heated and refined. Extra virgin olive oil means it's been cold pressed, and it's unrefined. So that's what makes a difference. So as soon as you put stuff in it, you've infused it, it's no longer extra virgin. So you gotta be careful around virgins. So we've got about 2 cups of that stuff in here. We're gonna throw in around 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. We're gonna put in 2, maybe 3 cloves of minced garlic and a little bit of garlic salt, maybe a tablespoon or so. And just whip that together. And this is good for a couple days, just let it sit, but after it sits for a few minutes, you're gonna be good to start basting. All right, this is ready. It's gonna sit out room temperature for a little bit, and we are gonna start making the base of these crostinis. So when you get a donut, right, a crostini is typically something that's been heated. Usually it's bread with olive oil, something like that. But we're using donuts because the sweetness with the saltiness and the horseradishy bite pairs so beautifully with a sip of bourbon. So what we like, Paulies are great because they're very thick. So we're gonna take one of those, get a good serrated knife, and you're gonna cut them about 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. We got these beautiful donuts sliced up. Take a cookie sheet, heat your oven up to 375, and lay them out across the sheet. If you have ones that split in 2, that's cool, make little teeny bites. You're gonna baste the top, and then flip them and baste the other side. Now we put these in the oven for 8 minutes and then flip them for another 5 minutes. The donuts are done, been flipped, crispy, tasty. Now the beef we're using for this, instead of a tenderloin, is actually, we got deli sliced. This is American Kobe beef. So the best, rarest, tastiest you can get is the way to go. So we're gonna take some of our crostinis, we're gonna lay them out. Then we're gonna take one of our slices of beef and we're gonna kind of pile it high. About 1/3 of a slice on each one. And this taste, you get all the salt, acid, fat, and heat, because we're gonna take some of our beautiful horsey sauce, a little dollop on each one. And then for some more taste and some color, we're gonna top them with some fresh cut chives. Ooh. Now we're just gonna make sure everybody's gonna be safe and healthy, so let's see how we did. Sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns and punch that in the mouth. You know what pairs well with bourbon? More bourbon. We're gonna make one of my favorite dishes of all time. This is bourbon chicken, a classic Chinese American dish, but actually it's not found in China. And originally it's not made with bourbon either. It was called bourbon chicken because there was a Chinese American restaurant at the tail end of Bourbon Street in the great eating city of New Orleans. So the locals just called it, yo, you gotta get that bourbon chicken, it's so good. So people just took it from there. So what we're gonna do though is serve it over some rice. Now, at the Funk, we don't go basic with just regular white rice. We're gonna fire things up a little bit with this rice too. So we're gonna put in 1 pound of long grain white rice. Then we're gonna put in 1 cup of chicken stock. Always replace water with stock when you can to add some cool flavors into it. Then we're gonna add in 1 cup of an amber beer. The beer gives it another nice layer of flavor. 1 teaspoon of garlic salt that my dad made actually. 1 tablespoon of butter. 1 tablespoon of Cajun seasoning. A little more of a salty flair in it. And then for some color and some cool looks, we're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of dried parsley. Then we're gonna heat this baby up until the butter melts and we get it to boil. Once we've got the rice boiling, we're gonna cover it. And we're gonna reduce the heat to low and a simmer, but I'm gonna move it because we're gonna use another burner. So put it on low and you want it to simmer for 15 minutes, but keep checking on it, make sure it gets nice and fluffy how we like. Now we got our rice going. We are gonna take a couple tablespoons of EVOO, AKA extra virgin olive oil, and heat it in a pan over medium heat. And we've got 1 pound of a diced up chicken thigh that's cut into bite-sized pieces. So we're gonna get that in the pan and brown that chicken up good. So while our chicken is browning, we're gonna make the sauce. We've got a 1/2 cup of soy sauce. I know we said the original version didn't have bourbon in it, but this one does. We're gonna put a 1/4 cup of that good old brown liquor up in there. Put a 1/4 cup of tightly packed brown sugar and 4 cloves of crushed garlic. And then we're gonna whisk that up. We're gonna add our sauce and we're gonna stir it around and let that go for 5 minutes. We're really gonna thicken the sauce up. Now we've let it go for 5-6 minutes, and what we're gonna do to thicken the sauce is we're gonna add a cornstarch slurry. It's equal parts cornstarch to water. Just stir that up, and then you're gonna help thicken your sauce. And you can keep adding more as you go. So we do a tablespoon of water, a tablespoon of cornstarch at a time, and see where we're at. We just wanna get a little bit more thicker, but the flavor, we're getting at it. Yeah, we got this Cajun-y, buttery beer rice that's good enough to eat on its own. But that ain't how we rollin'. Now comes the star of the party. This beautiful bourbon chicken with that thick, shiny, beautiful sauce. Yeah, that's how you do it right there. We also top it with some green onions or scallions, depending on what part of the country you're from. All right, let's get some rice. Some bourbon chicken. F***ing A, that's good. A great bourbon sometimes tastes the best when you've got something sweet in your mouth. So a great dessert is something that we love to pair with bourbon, especially if it's got some salt in it and something really complex. So this dish here are s'mores egg rolls, and we just want some more of them. They are gooey, crispy, chewy, salty, and fantastic. And we're dipping them in peanut butter whipped cream. So let's start with the whipped cream. That way it can chill while we get those egg rolls going. Now we put a metal mixing bowl and our beaters from our mixer in the freezer. We also kept our whipping cream really cold. So you want to keep that cold because it's going to keep the whipped cream from falling apart on you and not really getting the way we want it to. So we're going to add in 1 cup of heavy cream, the heaviest cream you can find, like heavy metal cream, y'all. Get that up in there. We're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of confectioner's sugar, that good old powdery goodness. Then we're gonna put in half a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract and a dash of table salt. Then slowly start mixing it. You're gonna keep doing it for about 5 minutes until some stiff peaks form, like a peak, like a mountain range. Now we're starting to see the peaks form. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add in peanut butter to your liking, but we're gonna add in maybe a 1/4 cup. Then we're gonna get back to beating it. Beat it good. That just smells great, it looks great. Like, this is bikini level whipped cream. So we're gonna put this away and start getting the egg rolls going. For the egg rolls, we've got egg roll wrappers, and these can be used for a bunch of different things, but keep them refrigerated. You can find them in the produce section usually of your grocery store. So we're gonna use the egg roll wrappers. Take your egg roll wrapper and you wanna have a point towards you. Then take a small amount of your mini marshmallows, small amount of your chocolate chips. Now the graham crackers, you've already crushed them, but crush them again with your fingers. You don't need a ton of it because the flavor goes pretty far, but you don't want any sharp edges from the cracker because it'll rip open the envelope. So like an envelope, we're gonna roll over and tuck the end in under the stuffing. Then we're gonna fold the sides in with a nice crease. We're tucking the inside in. Now the top of the envelope, we're gonna take that cornstarch slurry and we're gonna make a seal. So we're gonna coat that exposed part so it adheres to the rest of it. Roll it over. Now we've got it nice and tightly sealed. Then we're gonna coat it in flour. And then we're gonna put it in the freezer overnight, and this is critical. If you don't freeze it, what happens is it'll still cook and taste great, but the marshmallows will basically disintegrate into thin air. So a frozen one will cook faster. Look at these golden beauties, like you're walking down the beach, just tan people laying everywhere. So once they come out and the oil's off them, you're gonna take a combination of cinnamon sugar. So it's 4 parts sugar, 1 part cinnamon. That's how you make cinnamon sugar. And we're gonna hit it on top of that. Yeah. And don't be shy. We're not shy around here. Get our fingers in everything. Got this whipped cream with the peanut butter. Let's airplane this thing. A taste this good deserves another glass of bourbon to wash it down.
Baby, take it all off for me. Just take it all off. And you bad, let me tell you where to sit that. Then break you off just like a Kit Kat. Baby, take it all off for me. Just take it all off. And you bad, let me tell you where to sit that. Then break break you off just
I
like a
love this
Kit
food so
Kat.
much because we always have fun and something crazy comes out of it. But sometimes bourbon is a jump off. I mean, I've used it for like hair gel. I met this girl once. She had this perfume. It was like bourbon perfume. How have you made bourbon useful before?
I'm going to say that I try to not be useful when I'm drinking bourbon, but there was a time recently I got into stand-up comedy. It's like a midlife crisis, I guess, and I just needed, a bit of that liquid courage. And I'm going to say it's not liquid courage, it's liquid charisma.
Ooh. That's the name of our new distillery, Liquid Charisma, man.
I know, but like, please, he knows my contact information.
Dibs on the label design.
Instant copyright.
Yeah. That's my term now.
Okay, all right, fair enough, but it did help me.
Okay.
Because I went into this, really confident, a little cocky maybe, and they're like, yeah, I got 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. And I wrote down everything I thought was funny, like there could be like a bit, and it was like 3 minutes and 7 seconds.
All right, share the story though, because like a few of us were there, and you destroyed it, man. Like it was like mic drop central right there. So
Did you actually drop the mic though? They don't like that.
I didn't drop the mic, but they tried to rip me off the stage, so I guess that's comparable attention.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's comparable.
They dropped the mic on
it's in
her.
the same neighborhood.
They would have rather you drop the mic and just walked off the stage peacefully.
Yeah,
The crowd wanted her on there.
Well, yeah, it was all
wanted me
friends
on
and
there.
family.
And gym and people I teach in the gym, and like so there's a whole topic I had to avoid. I couldn't make jokes about a whole certain, how people work out, and I've seen that for 20 years. I can't.
You're like this person at the gym.
No fodder on
You don't
that.
know that.
Yeah.
How much did bourbon play a role in the writing of the jokes?
A lot.
Great question.
All right, so once I realized I was 4 days out and I had nothing, me and the bourbon and the flashlight had a intimate moments on this deck because I was
So much flashlight. She was out here for like the entire day talking into her microphone.
But I did it, and I was 21 minutes. And then I guess, I don't remember this, but the producer was trying to pull me off the stage.
don't remember.
She definitely was.
Wait,
With the light on.
Yeah.
Like
Waving
off.
I did
But the crowd though wanted more from
crowd
you.
was
You know what I
loving
mean?
it,
The
yeah.
crowd was loving it. So you know what? It didn't
No.
matter. And
Did you not
stayed
see
with
the
crowd.
producer waving at all?
No, I didn't see this. Like the Titanic
that's fair
didn't
then.
see the tip of the
crowd was
iceberg,
laughing
Alex.
and
I
the
didn't.
person
But you didn't sink
They
though,
did.
dude. You didn't sink.
No, I
You
literally
killed
didn't
it.
see it. I did
Yeah.
literally
Titanic
didn't.
did see the tip of the iceberg.
I was in the
They
zone.
just hit it.
I was in the zone. The people want to laugh, Alex, and so I made them laugh.
Why am
she
I not
did.
surprised
Surprised
that
that
Lisa
Lisa doubled her time slot and it still wasn't enough.
Double plus one.
We got friends in low places, but we're getting a little high too, because this bourbon is turning us up in all the right. So good drinks are only good if you're sharing them with good friends, and that gets us right in the feels. That's what this is all about, right? There's a special feeling we just can't put our finger on it, even when you're trying to put your finger on a cherry in a bourbon Manhattan. But you know the thing, like you just plain belong. Like when you walk in and see your friends and you just feel right again. You just smile because you know you're in the right place, because you're with the right people. It's great friends you're with in the good times and bad times, because it's the bad times that make the good times so good. So if you raise your glass with your crew on those great days, you better make sure you pour them together and pour them out to commiserate the bad ones too. Speaking of pouring, I need to fill my cup with the people that always fill me up. So tonight's we'll remember, and friends will never forget.